So welcome back to my channel, baby girl. You're going back to school soon, or maybe this is your first time going into high school, and there's so much that I want to tell you in this video today. I'm going to be doing a little bit of skincare. I hope you're okay with that because that is very important itself. So let's get right into this video.
I've been feeling like the man lately. Can't nobody do it like I can daily. Baddest in the land. Body turn your nigga to a fanny up.
Girl, ninth grade year for me was so freaking interesting. I think I learned a lot about myself that year because I never went to 7th grade. Fun fact, I went from 6th grade to 8th grade because I flunked back in like the 2nd grade. And by the time I came back to Indiana, they had decided to go ahead and put me into 8th grade. So never had a 7th grade year. And I know when I went to 8th grade, a lot of people were saying, 7th grade, they really learned who they are. That's like pivotal for everybody. And I'm like, I never experienced 7th grade year to even understand what anybody was meaning by that. So going into 9th grade, I did have a group of friends that I felt like were really, really amazing to me. They taught me a lot, and I learned that year I could be a bully. Let's start talking about relationships first. You do not have to be a mean girl to fit in. You do not have to basically break your back and bend to people's will just because you want to be friends with somebody. Now, I felt like I didn't really speak up for myself. I really didn't have a voice, honestly, until somebody really pissed me off and I really felt like I needed to go off on them. But I don't think the 8th grade year taught me too much, because going into 9th grade, I really felt like I was yearning for the attention of my peers. Let me add on to that because I kind of contradicted myself. I did have some really great friends, but the people that I decided to really attach myself to outside of my great friend group of people, like, they just did not mean me any good. Like, it was one of those, like, girl, you know damn well you should be talking to that girl. And that was like the worst thing to do. Boys was not finding me cute because I was already big, and you know what I'm saying? Like, it was a lot going on with that. But I felt like I did so much for my friends and helped out. I was always with them, even outside of school, because I felt like if I don't be this person for them, they're not gonna like me. So never feel like you have to be someone else just to impress others. If you are who you are and they don't like you for who you are, baby, you need to find another group of friends. I basically had my 9th grade year as a lesson for me to know that I don't need to become a show pony for any damn body. Let's talk about hygiene. This kind of goes next because I learned that 9th grade year, my hygiene was not the best. Growing up, my mom and my grandmother did do a decent job teaching me about my hygiene, teaching me about my body. But in 9th grade, I realized my hygiene was not together. I did not have a routine. I did not have, decent products. I was still using the $1 Suave from Walmart and Dollar Tree. Like, I did not have products that I liked. I didn't go to Bath and Body Works. I wasn't one of those girls. So I quickly realized, you stink. I quickly realized I was a little funky. I was a little musty. I was not completely where I needed to be with my hygiene. And then I was one of those girls also who did sports. I played volleyball just like a lot of my other peers. And coming from practice, you're taking off your clothes in front of everybody and you're realizing, okay, I smell like I have an odor. So then I started to hide myself in the bathroom to take my clothes off. I just be like, oh, I gotta go to the bathroom. So I'll go into the bathroom after practice or after, PE and take my clothes off because I felt uncomfortable doing that because my hygiene wasn't there. So I easily got that together very, very, very fast because I'm sitting here wanting boys to like me, but it's like, how can boys like you, girl, and they walk past you and they might smell something? Now, I'm not saying that was me every single day, but sometimes, especially when my pH balance was off, I had an odor and I did not know how to properly wipe myself. That was another issue I felt like I had for a while, is not knowing how to wipe myself right. And I went on YouTube literally, and I typed in how to wipe yourself as a girl. I watched videos also how to properly wash myself, and that really freaking helped. Now, baby girl, I am the, take care of yourself queen. I'm going to definitely, like, I just got out the shower. I'm going to wash my body. I'm going to do all the things I need to do because I'm sitting here wanting friends, I want a boyfriend, but you can't have any of that if you love funky and love musty, baby. Like, it just ain't gonna work.
And I'm going to be very honest here in this moment. So we had went to our freshman year trip, and my hygiene wasn't up to par the way I wanted it to be that morning, but I had to thug it out, right? And we was outside in the wilderness, like it was a lot going on. It was hot too. So I had realized that I wasn't the freshest, but I remembered I had brought, inside my bag, an extra pair of underwear and some wipes, and I had wiped myself off really, really good. And I told myself that day, you will never be funky like this ever again. And the only times that I am, y'all, is when I'm literally outside all day and like I need to freshen up and haven't had the chance to. But like that day really spoke to me, because I realized like you don't need to smell like that. There's no need for you to smell like that. There's so many products out here, affordable products. Get a job and take care of yourself.
So that is where a toiletry bag comes into play. Having your things already ready for you in your bag, if you need it, like little wipes and things like that, especially like after sports or PE, if you have PE earlier within the day, having like little wipes to get you through the day if you feel like you just need to freshen up down there, especially with walking up downstairs all day, you're sweating, and then like you're cooling down, so like that sweat is sticking to you. And sometimes sweat does have an odor on particular people, especially if your diet, if it was like mine and my friends back in the day, like it was hot Cheetos and Takis, McDonald's, Burger King, you know what I'm saying? So if your diet is not all the way there, it could really have an effect upon your smell. So just making sure that you are keeping your toiletry items packed and secured in your bag. Now, in some schools, they do have, the nurse station where you can go and pick up pads and sanitary wipes and things like that, and tampons. And that's what I would do for a while, especially when I lived in a dorm, because I went to the blind school. So they did have, extra wipes, extra tampons and things like that. And when I found myself going there all the time to get this stuff, I said, instead of being embarrassed about buying things that you need because you are a growing girl, you need to buy them for yourself, or steady going to the nurse's office. So instead of always hounding the nurse for their stuff, I just literally started using the money that I was making from working and buying my hygiene routine things. Your school, okay, if you are going into ninth grade, or are you going up into upperclassmen, depending on where your age is at, making sure you do your homework. Do your homework. Make sure your studies are up, because if you do want to go to college, even if you don't know if you want to go to college because it's so early within your high school career, don't just fuck off ninth grade year. Actually learn something. Actually take time to listen to what the teachers are telling you, because I know you probably don't like your period 3 teacher, and that is okay. You're not there to like anybody, but they're there to teach you. And if you feel like that, you're struggling in the area, ask for a tutor, ask for, that additional help, because I was one of those kids that struggled until the teacher came up to me and was like, I think you should stay after school today because we're going to work on this. I don't want that for you, friend. Actually start stepping up for yourself and speaking for yourself, because your parents are not going to always be there for you to help you out with your academics, especially if you plan on going to college. Academics for me, I played around with because I wasn't sure if I wanted to go to college. I did attempt college after I graduated high school, but it wasn't one of those things that I wanted. And now I'm walking into my dream job at the age of 28. After literally waiting around for so many years because I was just unsure of myself. So if you know that you need assistance in certain areas, please do not hesitate with speaking up, because the help is there for you. The teachers are there to literally help you. So do not think that everybody has the outs for you. But if you do feel like that, speak to your counselors. Speak to the counselors and assist them with assisting you, because if they don't know that there's a problem, they cannot help you. Next things next, your social life. Let's go back to that for a second. I had a social life outside of school with some of the girls that I went to school with, and I quickly realized that some of the people that I was surrounding myself around was not really my friend. And I quickly figured that out 10 years later, but just be vigilant on who you're calling a friend. Make sure that you're not trauma bonding with anybody, because that easily can happen, especially because teenagers, you know what I'm saying? If you feel like you have this homegirl that's always lying about something, definitely confront them, because what they gonna do, fight you? What you gonna do, fight them back? Right, because you gotta defend yourself. But don't ever feel like you have to stay friends with somebody because of a trauma bond, because you are staying friends with them because of proximity, because of something they've been through. Never, never, never do that. Now let's get into it, baby. 9th grade year, a lot of girls were losing their virginities around me left and right, and I felt like a late bloomer. I felt like I had to keep up with the Joneses in a sense, and there was a rumor there was a rumor that went around my high school years, and it was very subtle. It wasn't nothing crazy, but I had lied about a few things, and I got caught up in some lies because I wanted to fit in. Okay, this goes back to, do not feel like you have to be somebody else because you want to fit in. Now, I was always, quote unquote, talkative. I talked to everybody. There was really rare if I didn't talk to you. If I didn't talk to you, it was probably good for a very good reason. You know what I'm saying? But I typically was cool with everybody, and I didn't have a lot of enemies, so to speak. But I did feel like that if I didn't have a lot going on, then girls wouldn't like me, boys wouldn't like me. And come to find out, people like me for who I am because I have a bomb-ass personality and I'm cool to just be around. But I also felt like lying was my best way to keep these friendships because it kept me more exciting, and you should not have to feel like that. Boys, all these boys are horny, okay? I was at school with a lot of horny ass boys, and there was a few boys that took advantage of me because I was the bigger girl and I wasn't gonna say anything. And if you are a plus size girl, please do not feel like you have to be doing anything with any boy because they feel like, oh, she's the big girl, she's not gonna tell. That's not consensual at that point. Even if you do agree, it still might turn into something else. So definitely, if somebody is touching you, if somebody is saying something to you that's a bit more sexual than you are comfortable with, speak up, say something, tell somebody, because what is the last thing that you want is to be caught up in a situation where you've caught something or you're pregnant because you couldn't talk your way up out of something, or you couldn't tell someone no and they just took that no as a no. Because some of those boys back in high school, I remember they would try to touch my body, they would try to touch on me, they would try to say things to me because they thinking I'm not gonna say nothing because I was a bigger girl. And that's another topic for a whole other day. Being taken advantage of as a plus size girl needs to be spoke about a lot more, because some of them boys was just trifling. In high school as well, I felt like I didn't want to do sports. I didn't really want to do sports because I was bigger, but it did help me out. Let me tell you this, by the way. So I lost my vision due to a rapid weight gain because I was depressed. I had lots of anxiety. A lot was going on with me, and I gained a lot of weight in a very short amount of time. And because of that, I lost my vision. So please do not feel like that you have to go and eat your feelings away. Never, 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 never feel like that's the only option, because baby, there's not. Go, get up, take a walk, take your phone, put some music in your ears, and just vibe the hell out. Never feel like you need to have food for that to be your comfort, because for me, it never worked out. It was never the good idea. It was never a good plan. And because of that, years later, I'm still suffering from shit that happened when I was a teenager because I didn't want to speak up for myself because something was wrong. High school is scary, but girl, you got this. And if you have any questions, please leave them down in the comment section down below. Myself and others could definitely assist. And if you want any chats with me privately because you don't want to ask your questions down in the comments, my Instagram is right here on the screen, and you can find that direct link down in the description box down below as well. But thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you have an amazing school year. Bye.